little bit late today, but we getting it in. We got legs today. I'll be right back. What it do? What it do? What it do? We got legs today. Leg and tricep today. A little bit late today, but we getting it started. A little bit late today, but we getting it started. Yeah. Primary focus legs. Again, we gotta do our warm up. Gotta get our warm up in, stretching in before we get started. But we'll be getting started in about 5 minutes max. But yeah, let's get to it. We got legs and shoulders today. Legs and shoulders. I mistakenly said triceps earlier. Legs and shoulders. We focusing on calves, quads, and hamstrings. So yeah, we're gonna get started with a little stretch. Make sure you double tap, share the live, like, comment, sub. A little warm up, a little stretch from yesterday. A little sore, but not too bad. It's, it's actually a good feeling of sore rather than I can't work sore. How you doing? How you doing? Again, make sure you just get a little stretch in. You know, if you need to pull your legs up, pull them up. I typically do jumping jacks. That's kind of one that get everything flowing. But you can always pull your legs a little bit. Get a little range of motion. Alright, I'm gonna knock out a few jumping jacks and then we're gonna get started. Knock out a few jumping jacks and we're gonna get rolling. We're gonna get rolling after them jumping jacks. You know, to get the blood flowing a little bit. Alright, we're about ready now. We're gonna start off with the calf raises. We got 3 sets, 3 different variations again. We got a standard set. That's your wide. Got your inner. Hey, what you doing? Yep, exercising, working out. I got legs and shoulders and abs today. I never show abs on live, but I show the main station for the legs and the shoulder work. Speaking of shoes, I typically work out grounded, so that's why you don't hardly see me wear shoes out here too much, because I usually take them off and work out barefoot when I'm outside. But yeah, again, we got calves. We about to get to it. Now you don't need shoes. That's a preference. You know, on certain people's stability, their ideas. Shoes or no shoes, you still can get it done. But you know, if you're in the gym, you may want to have shoes on. You know, but I'm always working outside. So if I'm always outside, put my bare feet in the ground. I really can't get no better than that. So we're gonna start with calf raises. We got 30 pounds. Again, we got a standard. Let me lower the camera a little bit so you can see the feet. You are going to break yourself. Yeah, you could slip and fall, you know, or have any type of mishaps, but I can say your bare feet gives you more stability and grip than shoes. You know, all you can do is use your toes inside of the shoes to kind of give you grip, but when you're actually barefooted, you can actually use your toes to grip the ground. So, moving on though. Again, we got standard grip here. That's just straightforward. Toe raises. We got 3 sets of 15. Got one set complete. That's the standard. I ain't really tired, so I'm gonna keep going. Again, if you need a break, obviously you can take a break. Chain variation, so you go from standard to wide. Space your feet out a little bit. Work the inner calf. Second set complete. We got one more set on calves. Then we'll move over to either quads and hamstrings. Quads and hamstrings. What's going on, Devin? LGM guys, hey, what you doing inside? You need shoes. Yeah, that was 2 sets. For the first station, I got, this will be the last set of this station. And we're moving on to the next station. Go ahead and get to it. But yeah, man, make sure y'all double tapping the screen. You know, make sure you're liking, you're subbing, you're dropping comments. It doesn't cost to like, to share, to sub. All those things free. So if you like to support, you know, go ahead and support for the free. I ain't even asking you for a fee. I'm asking for free. Free support. Alright, last set, you turn the legs inward. Focus on the inward of the calves. Let's do it. Okay, that completes the calf portion, minus the burnouts again. For anybody that might be new, I show the main stations and then I burn out off camera, just because it'll stretch the live to about 2 hours, give or take. And yeah, today we got our last day of dumbbells, and then the rest of the week we'll finish up with some calisthenic work. So if you're interested in calisthenic work, make sure you tap in these next 2 days. As that'll be the focus. Okay, I might change one of the weights over. Change the weights, and that was 30 pounds. I'm gonna move up to either 35 or 40, and I'm gonna complete goblet squats. again, when you're doing goblet squats, if anyone does goblet squats, you want to try to elevate your feet to reach the most. To reach the most range of motion, you want to elevate your feet. So as you can see, I just dropped a dumbbell, a smaller dumbbell right here, so to park my feet on as I do the goblet squat. You can hold it here, you can hold the dumbbell here. You know, you got different options. So yeah, we got 3 sets of 8 to 12. Again, if it's a weight that you can't really manage, you know, you do 8. If it's a manageable weight, you make sure you do, you know, you move on up to 12. We gotta get the first set in. That's 1 set complete. Pretty simple, straightforward. Does create a burn on the calves. I mean on the quads. How you doing? Getting a quick little burn already. Just from the first set. I ain't even started the second set or started the burnouts. But yeah, we live though, you know. We grateful for the day. You know, we ain't got no rain out here today. Straight sun. Sun with a light breeze. With a light breeze. We getting it in with minimum weight. We got dumbbell, we got adjustable dumbbells, resistor bands, and body weight. That's pretty much what the whole channel consists of. Sometimes here and there I go to the gym and get content, you know, whenever I do make it to the gym, but for the most part, strictly home base, weight base. I mean body weight base. I get this set 2 in. Set 2, getting them out of the way. Kind of speeding through the day, seem like, in comparison to any other time we be on. So make sure you sub if you haven't already subbed. Make sure you scroll up and down the page, you know, check out the content, see if it resonates with you. Some may not. You know. We're on to the second set, on the second station. getting in that work. Any questions, comments, concerns, advice, make sure you drop them down below. "20 minutes into the live, everything going pretty smoothly. The sun in and out right this second. There's 2 sets of 3 for the quads. Yeah, let's finish up this last set so we can move on to hamstrings, and then that'll complete the lower body half, and then we'll switch over to the shoulder workout. Pretty simple, straightforward. All right, let's go. That completes the portion for the quads. Moving on to hamstring work, deadlift or RDLs. Working into it. Is anybody on live following along? Working out right behind me, or by chance? If so, let me know so I can, slow up, speed up, or etc. No? Okay, cool. I'll keep going. This will be the first set of last station on legs. Again, this is only displays half of the workout, but it's enough for some people's full workout. If you're just starting, it'll be enough for a full workout. But if you're if you're kind of active and you've been in the gym, it may not be as effective just to do what I show, unless Maybe if you're going extremely heavy, like extremely heavy, maybe 70 to 80% of the body weight, then just these stations will be okay. Now we're on the RDLs, deadlifts. Deadlifts start from the bottom coming up. RDLs, you hold the weight, and then you go over into a deadlift tight position. Knees slightly bent, obviously, If you happen to be doing those and it affects your back, you either may have too much weight, or if you don't have too much weight, your form may not be the best. But majority of the times, too much weight will cause you to utilize your back muscles to assist you in doing the motion, which then takes a little focus off of your hamstrings or whatnot, which could slow the visual growth in your legs, because you're kind of focusing on you're using leg day. You're using leg day to help grow the back if the form isn't in the correct manner. So make sure your form is correct, so you utilize leg day for legs and back for back. $100,000. $100,000. $300. Alright, on the set 2, I did 10 right then. I felt pretty good. You at least gotta do 8, but again, with that weight, I feel I can do 10 without overly burning out. So I'm gonna stick with 10, 3 sets of 10. Then we'll move on over to our shoulder work. Second set complete. Moving on. More than halfway through the workout today. I'm likely to switch it up a little bit today with the shoulder. Usually I go individual work. I go straight forward flies, you know. But this time I may do some work sitting down, you know. I haven't showed a version sitting down, I don't think, since I started doing live, so I might show a version sitting down. Yeah, make sure you like, you comment, you sub if you haven't already. Make sure you share the page with somebody who my content may resonate with, you know. I have all platforms. I have TikTok, Instagram. Also, I promote fitness on all of the platforms. On TikTok, I do a little more talking and self-empowerment more than YouTube. Yeah. Let me know if any background noise becomes too loud. I'm not sure how loud it's projecting outside the screen. But yeah, let's get this next set in. This is the last set. Then we move on to shoulder work. Plain and simple. Let's do it. That wraps up the show. That wraps up the leg work for the day. We got burnout for legs, of course, but that wraps up the 3 main stations. We did calves, we did squats, goblet squats to be specific, and RDLs. So next we're moving on to the back of the shoulder, the side of the shoulder, the front of the shoulder. That's kind of how my workouts are broken up to. They work the muscle, but every station works a portion of the muscle. We gonna start with what I want to start with today. We can start with barbell or dumbbell upright row. So that's simple. I'm gonna stay with these 20s. I usually go a little lower with the shoulder work, depending on the focus. But I feel pretty good today, so I'm gonna ride with the 20s for right now. And if I see myself, burning out a little faster than usual, I'll go down a little bit. But as of right now, we gotta get barbell rows or dumbbell rows. If you have a barbell, it's simply picking up a barbell, raising it here. If you don't got dumbbells, the same thing, but you use dumbbells. Got 3 sets of 8 of that also. Pull, work. First set, pretty straightforward, simple. We're working the shoulders. Pretty simple work, the shoulders. Again, if you go tap in with any of the other lives when I'm doing shoulders, you may see me doing these, but I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, you know. Still focus on the same muscle, but a little switch up in the routine. First set, we about to move on to the second set. Feeling pretty good. Feel like I could burn out another set before I need to get some breath in me, so let's do it. Set complete. First station of shoulder work. Plain and simple, pretty easy. Got background noise, obviously, neighbors doing what they do. I can't really control that portion. Moving on, last set. First station of shoulders. Put my bench out. Pull the bench out. Make some bench work. Bench work here. We got another set of pulls, rows for the shoulders. Three sets of 8 also. Same weight. 3 sets of 8, let's do it. You can do 1 arm or 2 arm. These dumbbells make it a little challenging to do them at the same time by them being so wide. So that's what made me go with one. Give it a shot with two again real quick. Nah, two ain't gonna work. Not with the form I'm on. Feel it. Woo, woo. Last set of these, and then we got front raises for the last station. And you know the regular, we'll sit over here, chop it up about 5-10 minutes, give or take. And I switch on over to TikTok for a little while. Woo. Last station of shoulders. Front pulls. Got 3 sets of 8 on that also. gonna work with one arm and then switch to the other so I can do a little more control this goes around. Two sets down, one more to go. That'll wrap up the main segment for the day. Yeah, we're putting in that work. Must put in that work. It's a must if you want to see gains. No shortcuts. Raw, natural gains, no supplements, straight raw right now, no protein shakes, all work, last set, gotta complete today's portion minus the abs again. Those who are interested in seeing the full regimen, again, make sure you sub. I'm going to start doing a free live and a sub only live. So the sub only live will be for those who's trying to work out, who has any personal questions, any type of the sub group is basically for closer engagement, asking you questions on like a daily, weekly basis. Again, you get to see the full workout routine. I drop different little tips, advice. I may drop meal plans in there also. You better contact me to do a personalized workout routine. Whether you're talking body weight, calisthenics, dumbbells, gym, however. Last set, third station. We're done. Let's do it. Switch arms. Get it going to the next one. Let's go. That wraps it up for the day. As far as workout go, again, we stay on here about 5-10 more minutes. Talk, chop it up, yap. Ask any questions, comments, concerns, advice. Hell, you can leave me advice, leave me tips. Quick cool down while we sit here and talk, stretch the shoulders a tad bit. Loosen up. loosen up. As we cool down, we just chopping it up for a quick little second before I switch over to my other platform, go live on there for a little bit, you know, show face with some of my other people that has the other platform and not YouTube specifically. But you know, while I'm on here, make sure you drop them questions, comments, concerns. Make sure you drop them in the chat. I'm reviewing the chat. I don't see anything new, just recent. It may be a tad bit behind if you did drop something, so just give it a quick second to update. Yeah, we just grateful to make it through the workout. You know, without no problems, without no interruptions. All smooth, divine timing. Working. Got the little band work, loosen up the shoulders a little bit. Since we just worked them, you obviously want to loosen them up. You can put your foot down on the band. That's what I was doing yesterday, just raise it up. If you ain't got dumbbells, you can use these bands to do the same workout I just completed. How do you get your side muscles? When you say side muscles, can you be a tad bit more specific? Are you talking about my side of my shoulder? Talking about side of my arm? So I can specify you in the right direction. I just want to make sure that I understood the question. How do you get your side muscles? Are you referring to my oblique side? Your upper body that looks like a triangle. So if you're referring to anything here, that's all ab work. If you're referring to my shoulders, that's different forms of raises, pulls, front, side, bent over pulls. If you're talking about the chest specifically, but essentially, in order to get like your so due to trial and error thus far, the sculpting of each individual muscle tends to make it look like one is more stronger than the other. But I simply just break up all of my body parts and work on them individually. So I have shoulders, chest day, biceps, so it's more so targeting each muscle. Targeting each muscle is what builds like the overall definition. And I appreciate that comment also, yeah, I appreciate that. So basically, I don't also have a lot of body fat also, so that's kind of where, if you want more of the triangular shape, you want to decrease as much body fat underneath the armpit like a triangle. So yeah, that's something that you told me I ain't really noticed about myself. But yeah, that's strictly just working on the shoulder by itself. Working on every muscle by itself just brings out the definition, which then kind of creates a puzzle all in one, But again, if you already have like mass, or you already have a decent amount of body fat, you don't even need dumbbells. If you do use dumbbells, you can use 5s or 10s, but get you some bands and it'll tone the definition up. you know. So you want to. I don't even have a lot, an over amount of mass. I just have mass, little body fat with a lot of definition. So bands always tone you up, slow and steady. You know, you do them however. You do these. Turn around, you know, for your back side. You can do these. You can do. You can take the band and do different motions. So you can do like an all over motion. You know, that tones up every muscle outside of the ones that you do with isolation. So all the muscles that you don't touch during maybe just this individual pull here, if you do these, now you're hitting all of them. These, you know. These. I did that behind my back and put it down. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, if your body ain't used to it, you'll do it. Even the people that lift every day, if they just overexert themselves a little bit more than what they used to, you know, they can pull a muscle also. So a pull muscle just basically shows and displays that you might have worked it without stretching, or you may have overworked it. You know, from my personal experience with pull muscles. So, but yeah, you can take some bands. You can hold one arm and steady, pull with the other one. Work on that shoulder work. Same other side. Keep this one still. You can tie it around something. Put it to you. You know. Different strokes for different folks. I suggest you try the motion before you pick up weights. Definitely try the motion by itself. Get you a set, or maybe do a day worth of no weights, strictly motion. You know, so whatever you want to focus on, whether it's biceps, I simply go biceps. If I'm, you know, of course, if I weigh maybe 150 to 200 pounds, I maybe use a 5-pound weight just to give me some resistance, and then I'll focus on we tend to ego lift, and ego lifting is really trying to utilize your journey and look at somebody else's and be like, I want to be where they at, without actually taking the right steps and protocols to actually be where they at. So there's no need to ego lift. You know, the thing is, you know, let's say you mid-20s, early 30s, however the case may be, you got a plethora of years to master up to 100-pound dumbbells. You know, you may go from 5 to 25 within two months of your life. So you went from 5 to 25 with 2 months of your life, and you still got maybe 60, 70 years worth of, you know, life. It doesn't take that long to get to 100 as long as you go steady. You know, so just know it's a journey. And the more disciplined and consistent you are, the faster you complete the journey. And that's pretty much how it goes. Pretty much how it goes. Literally, it's that simple. But yeah, if nobody else got any more questions, comments, concerns, I'm gonna switch on over and I'll be back tomorrow with some calisthenics workout. Body weight. Right now we shoot for 10:30. If anything arises. Other hand, I'll repost on my I'll post on YouTube story or YouTube post, TikTok story, and Instagram story about what time I'm work out. Again, I go for 10:30 on the regular schedule. So tap back in with y'all at 10:30 tomorrow. Y'all go be great.